Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Joe. I am the American that Trevor always goes on about.
This is the story of Joe, a man with quiet strength and courage. He blew the whistle on Trevor Colt for charity fraud, including failing to keep a separate bank account for his foundation. For years, he faced threats, harassment, and intimidation. As a trustee for For Our Veterans, a charity Trevor never properly registered, he stood by his principles despite the impact of Trevor's actions. This story draws a clear contrast. Joe shows integrity and compassion. Trevor appears cold and self-serving. Joe's voice deserves to be heard. Here are some examples of Trevor Colt's behavior on social media. Notice the contrast between him and Joe.
Because I've got a set of bollocks, I've achieved a lot. I think I need to grab both your heads and smash them together, because you're both weak. I used to get my ex-wife to park in the disabled spots, and I would get out limping, and I would limp all the way into the shopping centre and then grab the trolley, because I'm an asshole, and that's what I did. And she used to get really upset about it, that I would do that. But I think you may not like, maybe you're not like me. I'm going for I want to get in and out. There's a spot there, it's disabled, can't park there. Park there, just park there. In fact, I'd get out and limp, just go out and limp all the way to the shop. Sometimes I would drag my left leg just to get a trolley, and then I'd use the trolley to hold me up. You may think I'm an asshole, guys, but you know, at the end of the day, this is a world of dog eat dog. And if there's one spot left and it's disabled, for that one trip, in my head, I turn into a disabled guy and I make it around the shopping centre, back in the car, seatbelt on, and I'm back to being normal. Someone tell me, if you're having to use pronouns and tell people what you are, it's because that's not what people see. It's a fair point, isn't it? So if someone says I identify as, see the minute they say I identify as, when they get to the word as, that's when your fist needs to be punched them in the mouth. I identify as, you identify as someone with a black eye. Shut up. Shut up. And get out, be gone with you, banish, off. That's what you do. But I am stunned at the minute, and this is why I'm fed up. And if you want to call me a racist, call me it. I'm the best racist in the world.
For the support, I didn't do it to gain support. I didn't do it to gain followers. I didn't do it to gain anything. I did it because I think it's the right thing to do.
Trevor Colt's behavior shows manipulation, self-interest, and a lack of empathy. Psychologists call this the dark triad: psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, traits marked by impulsivity, grandiosity, entitlement, and exploitation of others.
You know, I sit back and I'll be honest with you, and I've said it already. It upsets me because I let myself fall prey to it. But you know, he is a very convincing person.
What you did was you let him take your power away from you. That's what you did. And the thing is, he has no power, and that's why he shouts and goes on the way he does, to try and control people. Because he can't control himself.
He's a manipulator. It's good at.
Yes,
he's been doing it years.
Yeah,
sound of it.
And that's what I want to tell let people see, is that, you know what, I fell prey to it, and I don't want to see anybody else fall prey to it. But unfortunately, there's been a lot of people that have been hurt since I've been hurt as a result of him. And I take some guilt to that, because I feel as if though if I would have taken a firmer stance and a stronger stance, I could have prevented it. But I was afraid of the repercussions. I'm not going to lie. You know, so my self-preservation took over. And for that, I apologize to the people that have been hurt in the interim. But that self-preservation ain't going to stop it.
And just remember, this isn't the only person that Trevor Colt has done this to. We can never forget how he went after Melanie Brown putting a bounty on her head for $5,000, nor can we forget how he harassed another veteran. Here are the examples.
Complete lunatic. So get a grip of your life. If anyone out there knows Melanie Brown, hit her a slap, and we'll see where it goes. I'm sure your daughter will not be happy when the university requests back the computer that she has on loan from them, because it's being used to troll people, and targeted harassment is actually a criminal offence. So there you go, guys and girls. Thanks for watching. I'm sure she'll get to see this. And just remember that it doesn't matter how hard you try and hit me. I've got friends in every place that will hit back twice as hard. Enjoy your day, guys and girls. And thanks for watching. Take care.
The best way to deal with that individual is simple. You leave them to be destroyed by the thousands and thousands of people that support you. You highlight their stupidity, and then you leave them to be destroyed by the very people that do support you. And throughout yesterday, I was receiving messages. Now, here's the weird thing about social media. See, if you have a following, then you have to watch what you say, because you could entice people to do certain things. You could say things which could make people get attacked. You have to watch, and it's quite difficult to sort of bite your tongue a lot of the time, especially when you're being defamed and slandered online and destroyed online. Now, I did watch it. I have seen the screenshots. I have seen it. I find it strange. There is I believe he's a veteran. He may not even be a veteran. I don't know. There's a guy that lives in Ipswich who's been slagging me off on Twitter non-stop, and he's a charity ambassador. And I've only just found out in the last 12 hours that he attends veterans breakfast clubs at the Ipswich Town Football Club. Yeah, and he posts a lot of things to do with Combat Coffee. He posts a lot of things to do with mental health and veterans, and reach out, speak out, PTSD. At the same time, attacks me. I've never met the guy, but I'm going to meet him. I'll be at the next veterans breakfast club, and we'll see what you have to say then. It's just sad. I mean, I'm having to confront people and ask them what their problem is with me, just because they've heard shit about me, because people, they jump on the bandwagon and they think it's fun to go and attack someone and destroy someone's character without even knowing anything about them.
Okay, I've watched him destroy life after life after life. And it's not fair. Why did he go to military prison? Why? You think it was just because he was late a couple of times? Nah, I don't think so. Why were those that served under him? Why do they not respect him? I talked to people that served with him, that served under him, and they told me that he was a bully in the forces as well. That he used to go around camp with some others and beat up people with metal poles. Okay?
That's what I was really sick. New veterans being beaten by poles, joining the army doing the service for its country, protecting people, and you get a group of men like him, spineless men, attacking people with poles, just starting fresh in the army.
Yep. And let me tell you a story, Cantor. He likes to say that he was involved in the first Gulf War, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Well, Desert Shield, Desert Storm was 35 years ago. Okay, I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Trevor's 50. So 35 years ago would have put him at 15, 16 at the oldest. And I know that it's not legal for a 15 or 16-year-old to be walking around the battlefield with a rifle. Okay, so let's debunk that. I do know about what I read in his first book, and I don't understand why the British MOD or even legal system haven't launched an investigation into him for the way he treated a deceased body in that. So again, we go back to in his own admission, not mine, not yours, not anyone else's. It's not made up, unless he made it up in his book. I don't know. He likes to point out that Prince Harry may have lied about things in his book. So he says that he killed this individual, and he didn't realize who it was. But once he would have killed him, when he went to get the body, he would have had to been able to positively identify him, especially if he'd been doing operations in that area, because all the reports in the book says that this individual was known to forces in the area as being disabled and having a fascination with soldiers. So now you killed him, okay? And I'm not going to say that you murdered him or anything else, because I've been in those situations, and guess what? Your safety and the safety of your fellow soldiers and team is paramount. Okay. And that's, to me, that's more important. So if there wasn't a positive identification when the engagement occurred, that's okay. However, once you go to identify or go to do your gather any intelligence off of the body, because you're gonna go and you're gonna look to see if they had anything that would be of value in that from a security perspective, and once you identified then that was who it was, then you knew that. But then to put it in garbage bags, openly admitting that he put it in garbage bags, and then used the body to warm his feet.
Sick.
I don't give a damn how ill you are. That is a war crime.
Yeah. He's a
criminal.
criminal.
Don't tell me you have pneumonia or anything else. That is a war crime. And guess what? I paid the price. Mentally and emotionally, living in a hell, looking over my shoulder since 2019. And guess what? The same thing's going to happen after I've done this, because I haven't done anything like this since I parted ways with him. And you know what? I know it's going to grind his gears, and he's going to have any and every resource that he can to try to come and find me and harm me. But you know what? I'm not worried about it anymore. I've made the peace that I need to make. And all I want to do is I want people to see the truth, to know the truth, to know exactly who he is.
Joe spoke with clarity and accuracy, and it does not matter which platform he chose because the message itself is what carries weight. His account aligns with the evidence that even Trevor Colt has supplied about himself. The pattern stands. Trevor Colt acts with reckless disregard, uses intimidation to silence others, and involves people around him to advance that behavior. David Radband is one clear example. My own interaction with Radband confirms how these tactics operate. This leads to a basic question. How can anyone support a man who lies as easily as he breathes? How can anyone support someone with a documented record of violence during military service who spent time in a military prison for assault and battery? How can anyone support an individual who hides behind online supporters while he unleashes cruelty from a distance? His own regiment removed him for a reason. Joe's account reflects that reason with unmistakable clarity. Joe accepted personal risk so that others harmed by Trevor Colt would not stand alone. He stepped forward even though he may face consequences for doing so. Our responsibility is now to ensure that Joe is not left exposed. He acted with integrity. He acted so the rest of us could understand the full picture. Protecting him is essential. Trevor would never make such a choice. A person without conscience does not act for the welfare of others. What remains certain is this: when people stand together for truth, they build strength. Collective integrity becomes protection, and with that unity, those who have been harmed gain safety and support, including Joe.